Hi guys, welcome to Flip the Deck Tarot. In today's pick a card reading, we're going to be looking at how your future spouse or partner will recognize you. So what are their initial impressions of you? How do they grow to care about you over time? How does this relationship develop? And what is it about you that really catches the attention of your future spouse or partner? So we have 3 readings to choose from today. For reading number 1, we have this tumbled carnelian. For reading number 2, we have a lepidolite point. For reading number 3, we have a tumbled blue calcite. So go ahead and take as much time as you need to pick the reading that is calling to you the most. I'm going to drop your timestamps down below in the description box. I'm going to go ahead and get started with reading number 1, and I will see you in your reading. Hi, number 1, if you were drawn to the carnelian, this is going to be your reading. We're going to be looking at how your future spouse or partner will recognize you. So what I want to do with these first cards is go ahead and look at what the initial energies are in this connection. What stands out to this person at first? What's the first thing that they notice about you when this connection comes together initially? So let's look at these cards. You guys actually got 2 of these relationship oracle cards, so you have a little bit of a bonus. Let's see what this energy is and see what's going on in the very beginning of this connection. So you have intimacy. Wow, okay. And freedom. Okay, already, like I'm already getting some messages here and kind of feeling this energy. This person is feeling very, very comfortable with you right from the beginning. There's this feeling of closeness, this feeling of familiarity right from the beginning of this connection. We also have worth waiting for you. Okay, so let's look at this. I feel like already your future spouse or partner is immediately going to feel this immense sense of comfort with you. They find you to be a very nurturing and comforting soul, and that's one of the first things that draws them to you. They feel so comfortable in your presence. They feel safe in your presence. What I'm picking up on here is that this is so odd. This is actually very strange, so I hope that this makes sense, but it's almost like it actually makes them feel initially a little uncomfortable with how comfortable they are with you, because they might find themselves kind of opening up to you initially, feeling more engaged, feeling more talkative than they might usually, feeling like they want to share deep parts of themselves or share things that they normally would kind of keep to themselves, things that they would hold on tight to them for themselves. And it's like they feel this draw to open up, to talk, to share, to connect in a way that's unfamiliar to them. For many of you, I feel like this person does open up to you right away. But in some cases, this person might kind of hold back at first, because this feeling of being so free to be themselves and to really be seen by you is completely foreign to them. It's totally foreign. So I feel like these are energies that for some of you in your connection initially, you won't even hear this person verbalize that this is how they're feeling in this connection. They won't verbalize this information because they feel so uncomfortable feeling comfortable. They feel so out of their depth being seen like this. I feel like this person too, right away, they kind of feel like everything that they've gone through so far in terms of relationships, in terms of being hurt in relationships, because I do feel like a lot of what they have to open up about is centering around this heart-centered energy here. So this could be about their past hurts, their past experiences, lessons they've learned, maybe pain and trauma that they've experienced. I feel like they kind of feel like every way that they've been challenged in relationships is almost worth it as soon as they meet you, because they're able to understand and recognize true intimacy when they connect with you. And it's almost like this has turned on some sort of light bulb for them. And it's making them see that even in connections in the past where they thought they had that intimacy, or they thought they had that closeness, they thought they were being understood and they were being acknowledged for who they really are. They realize in even a short amount of time interacting with you, that intimacy wasn't actually present in some of these other relationships. And for them, this is part of what's making them feel maybe a little bit uncomfortable, because depending on this person's background, they could have been in very serious connections leading up to this relationship with you. This could even be someone who was married or who was in a very serious long-term commitment. When we look at the rest of the energies, we'll see if we pick up on any of that in terms of their past. But it's like, if they were, let's say, married or with someone for a number of years and they thought they were experiencing this deep bond and this deep connection, I feel like within a short amount of time interacting with you, they're able to kind of see and nail down that connection wasn't everything that they thought it was. That connection wasn't as... it wasn't quite as powerful or as deep as they may have thought. So I do see that initially this bond with you, even if it starts out very casual, there's something going on beneath the surface for them. It's not quite as casual to them. There's a lot that they're realizing. There's a lot that they're putting together, even about experiences that they had before they met you. It's almost like they wouldn't have understood that they hadn't truly been in this sort of intimate relationship that they want until they meet you. So I do get kind of a mix of feelings here initially at the beginning of this, because I do think on some level that's hurtful, disappointing, and confusing to this person to understand that past relationships really weren't living up to their expectations, and they might not have even realized that. But at the same time, it's so enlightening, and I just feel this sense of gratitude for knowing what true love and acceptance is. And I feel like this person is feeling these sort of deep emotions initially in this connection, and they're understanding that maybe they never truly understood it before. I feel like they let you see inside of them very early on. At least they feel like they do. So they may share something with you that maybe on the surface you don't realize how much it takes for them to open up. But they can share things with you right in the beginning that kind of, it frightens them at first, that they felt comfortable enough to share that, or that they did kind of expose as part of themselves to you. But what I'm really picking up on here is it's your response that makes a difference. It's your response to the way that they open up to you that reassures them and kind of lets them know that you're a safe place for them. That's how it feels. It's very safe, and it really is just kind of a feeling that they get from you initially, which kind of has them opening up a little quicker than they might have thought. They're really drawn to the way that you give them the space to be themselves. And it's like, you don't try to control them or control the direction of the relationship. You just allow things to unfold. You just let them be. You let them be who they are. So these are the things that initially draw them to you. This could even be like you appreciate their sense of humor, or you share common interests with them, or even if they share something with you that isn't one of your interests. It's like the way that you're engaged, the way that you listen, the way that you ask questions to get more information. It shows them that you're really interested in them. You're really interested in who they are as a person, and that really draws them in. And that's just you, though. That's just like your ability to connect with people on that deep level, to see to the heart of who they really are, and to kind of establish that I don't want to say bond, because like I just get the feeling that you're very personable in that way. And that's what they are noticing and appreciating about you right from the beginning. So looking at this energy, I will say that for some of you, this relationship does become physical very quickly. So you might be physically intimate with this person very early on in the connection. or these feelings of physical attraction are present right from the beginning of the connection. There is also this feeling that this relationship marks the end of a dry spell for one or both of you. So this could even be an end of a period of waiting for this connection to completely come together. So for some of you, this might be a connection that you have waited for, where there was a period of separation, or there was a period of things moving very slowly. And there's this feeling of waiting for it to unfold. But for others of you, I feel like some of you may have taken a step away from dating before you meet this person, or your future spouse or partner has taken a step away from dating. And it's like kind of this feeling of like drawing inward and not connecting with people on this level. And I feel the energy I'm getting from this is that was an intentional choice. So if this was on your end or on their end, I just feel like when you meet this person, even if one or both of you have made the intentional choice to not date or to not be intimate with a partner for a period of time, or until you sort some things out, or maybe you're in a period of soul searching or something like that, it's like there's something about this connection that changes that, and it puts an end to that that dry spell, whether it was by chance or whether it was a conscious choice of yours. I feel like this puts an end to it. And I do feel like some of you may have met this person. And if this is a connection where this person kind of feels like they might be in a period of delay, or this connection is taking a break, this is showing that the level of intimacy that they feel with you, that they felt with you before this break occurred, is really what makes you unforgettable to them. So even if there is this period of not exploring this connection, or this period of distance, what they remember is this feeling of intimacy, this feeling of freedom to be themselves and to be free with you. Yeah, to them, this is why this connection is unforgettable, and this is why they will wait. They will wait if they have to, is kind of how I'm hearing it. Because initially that bond and that connection is so strong. So let's look at what this person is drawn to. What is going on? What makes this person initially recognize you? How do they know that you're the one? How do they know that they want to spend more time with you? Number one, how does your future spouse or partner recognize you? So we have Saboteur. Okay, that's very interesting energy. Let's move this over here. Wow, you guys, you triggered this person. So I feel like as this relationship develops, and honestly, from the initial energies that I was picking up on, this might happen a lot sooner for them than they would think, but you really triggered this person. And one of the main ways that they recognize this connection as significant and as meaningful is that you are triggering them. You do have the ability to trigger them. This could be a person who always kind of saw themselves as someone who would remain single, or someone who never saw themselves falling in love again after being in long-term relationships, or relationships that they viewed as important in the past. They may have kind of said, this isn't for me. This whole love thing, this whole relationship thing, getting married, whatever it might be, it's just not for me, and it's not my path. So they could have always viewed themselves that way, or they could have viewed themselves that way for a really long time. This could even be somebody who never really believed in love. Like they might have seen long-term relationships or committed relationships and marriage as more of like a logical choice. And I almost want to say like a business transaction. Like they may think that there are beneficial reasons to be in a connection, but they had never really felt that heart-centered thing that makes you want to commit to somebody. And I feel like when you come into their life, you just turn their whole world upside down. You turn their whole perception about relationships and how it's supposed to go and what it should feel like upside down. In a lot of ways, and this is going to sound a little strange, but this is this energy here. It's like you ruin whatever plans they had for themselves for their future, because now they're starting to look at things differently. They're starting to question what they really want. They're feeling more attached than they anticipated. And I just get the feeling it's like more attached than unbothered. And this is somebody who maybe tries to remain unbothered, or who always saw themselves as someone who wouldn't let their emotions get the best of them. But it's this feeling of sabotaging this goal of theirs to remain single, or to remain unattached, to remain unemotional. Yeah. It makes them question, what do they want to experience? What do they want to give? What do they want to share? Who do they want to be? What kind of relationship do they want to have? And as they get to know you, it's like one thing after another, like, well, that was my plan and now that's not going to work. It's like complete sabotage to any plan that they had of not feeling this way, not feeling this intimate, connected way. That's really interesting energy, and it kind of makes me laugh because I just see their plans. Although they were well-intentioned, it's like they weren't necessarily the best or the most healthy plans for them. And when you come into their life, they start to shift towards something that feels more fulfilling, something that feels more supportive. It feels more beautiful. It feels more free. But it's a shakeup. It's like it's a shift in direction for them, even though it does feel better. So it's like you kind of bring out all of their fears, all of the emotions that they plan to avoid. Every door they thought would remain locked forever. I just have this vision of you kind of showing up with the key. It's like, oh, you thought that door was locked? Well, here comes number one with the key for it. And they're like, wait, what happened? Like, this is not what I planned. It feels like a lot of their ideas or their beliefs are being challenged by this connection. This relationship wants them to be different. It makes them long for different things than they thought they would, things that they thought that they could be perfectly happy without. It really shifts things for them. But it's like you make them see a different part of themselves. And it's almost like at first they don't even recognize themselves when they come into this connection, because you change their heart and their mind so quickly that it's like they don't even know who they are for a minute. So I can see why this person would recognize you as their spouse or future long-term partner, because this is such a shakeup in energy. It's something that's so different. They can't ignore it. Anytime you're like your beliefs and your basic foundation is being challenged like that, it makes this person really kind of wake up and think about this. Like, what is this? What's happening? Where did this connection come from? What does this mean? And so they start to realize that. So let's look at your tea leaf cards. I actually pulled these for you ahead of the reading, so we will see how this kind of relates to this energy. What do we have here? Okay, we have wreath, and this is sorrow over a loss. And we also have flute, disappointment in a friend or lover. So I'm starting to see here where some of these beliefs, or where some of these I almost want to call them rules that they set for themselves, because it does feel like this connection breaks some sort of rule. It breaks some sort of barrier. I'm starting to see where that has come from, because we have this person who maybe was feeling sorrow over a connection falling apart. Like this card says here, disappointment in a friend or a lover. So this could be a relationship of theirs that fell apart. This could be betrayal that they've experienced in several of their relationships. And I feel like without realizing it, they may have almost barricaded themselves, is how it feels, as a protective measure. They kind of created this barrier between them and anything they could feel very emotional about. So this connection is challenging them in that way. It is a shakeup in that way. And I feel like they've either experienced this loss firsthand, or they witnessed things not working out in the past. So this could even be things from their childhood. This could be someone who has decided from the time that they were a child that like this love thing really wasn't for them, or they weren't going to get too close, or even the feeling of like not wanting to be intimate with someone, or never being able to imagine being very intimate, being very exposed, showing somebody all of maybe the darker sides of your personality, everything in all the nooks and crannies. It's like this could be someone who just never imagined themselves feeling comfortable enough with another person, period, to do that. And this relationship has changed their outlook on that. If they do come from divorce, because this was another thing that was coming up, they watched their parents split up when they were young. They've gone through painful breakups themselves, things like that. It's like witnessing these things and experiencing those emotions kind of made them feel like they never wanted to make themselves susceptible to that type of energy. They kind of have this energy like they didn't think they were going to let themselves go soft, is how this is coming through. They didn't think that they would almost melt like this. And I feel like because this intimate feeling comes on so early, it's just such an initial feeling that they have. It's almost this feeling of them melting and then them giving in internally, because I do feel like they might hold this to themselves for a while, but it's like they melt and they give in a lot quicker than they thought they would. And for some of you, this person never thought that they would. And this is where it's like you come in and you completely sabotage that plan. So this is a person that really, when you meet them, they might not be looking for love at all. They might be completely focused on their career or on some other area of their life and be really closed off to the idea of this sort of intimate relationship. But you see how both of these, cards here have flowers on them. So this flower imagery on both of these cards. It's like something starts to bloom, something starts to blossom that they never anticipated. Something starts to grow in soil that they didn't think was fertile anymore, or they didn't think it was fertile to begin with. It's like you trigger that sort of growth in them. Flowers might be somehow significant in this connection when you meet this person. This could be somebody who brings you flowers, someone who you bring flowers to. So this could be vice versa. It could be that the two of you meet in a place where there's a lot of flowers, or you're meeting in nature. I just heard that somebody's named after a flower. So that's a total side note, like probably for one of you, but for one of you, your guides are making some sort of connection between your name, it might be your middle name for some of you, being a flower, that it kind of triggers something in this person. So this might be that it's the same name as like a family member of theirs, or it's their favorite flower, or every time they see this flower, they think of you. And it's like another way that they just can't get away. They can't get away from this connection. They can't get away from the way that this feels to them, because there's something that like, it just triggers them over and over again for some of you. So let's look at some tarot. See what's going on in this connection, how your future spouse or your partner recognizes you. How does your future spouse or partner recognize you? Wow. Okay. The card fly on the floor. We have the Five of Swords. Yeah. I feel like that's part of that energy that I was feeling of almost resistance, or this challenge in a way. Page of Wands. Something's challenging them. Something's making them think. Maybe a bit of an internal challenge, debate, or deliberation here. Two of Wands in reverse. Let's pull one more. See if I can kind of round out that energy and get a better idea of what's going on here for them. The Tower reversed. Bottom of the deck, the Magician. Yeah, you're making them wonder what they want to create in their life. What have they been creating? What have they been manifesting? But I feel like their idea of what they want to give to something and what they want to get out of it changes when they meet you. So they definitely recognize this connection as something different right from the start, because they view it as something that's like they've never wanted to give as much of themselves to any kind of romantic connection. They've never wanted to receive so much from any romantic connection. I feel almost like they've never truly tied themselves to a romantic connection in the way that they do with you, in the way that they feel comfortable and drawn to and inspired to with you. So that's kind of taking me back to this idea of them realizing that their previous connections might not have been as intimate and connected as they wanted them to be, because I was sort of feeling that they may have felt that their previous partners didn't appreciate them or didn't open up to them, or it just didn't feel the way that it feels with you, which really could be the case for some of you. But for some of you, this person recognizes themselves as the one that was holding back. They recognize themselves as the ones who weren't giving their all, or weren't expecting to get so much from the connection because they really didn't feel that attached to it. So this is something that changes for them. And this is something where I feel like there is internal debate and deliberation. This Five of Swords energy is really representing this person and how they were feeling even before, leading up to this connection. I'm seeing a major contrast between the Five of Swords and the Page of Wands here. The Five of Swords energy is the energy of being really bogged down by worries, by stress, by kind of a feeling of being defeated. And in a lot of ways, I think you have defeated this person. It's so interesting how that's coming through. But yeah, there's this feeling of sabotage. There's this feeling of so much love, but it feels like this person in a lot of ways initially in this connection is like, they just feel defeated, because as much as they may try to deny that this connection is something special, or they may try to not reach this level of intimacy, there's this internal debate going on about like, what should I do here? Like, all of my plans are being thrown out the window. Everything I thought was gonna happen, and every choice I thought I thought I was gonna make is now up for debate. But I do feel like in general, they may have felt defeated in relationships before. They may have felt that it wasn't really worth it. Even in some cases, like no matter what they put in, they're not going to get the kind of connection out of it that they had once hoped for. And it's almost like that hope dwindles over time. That hope dwindles, and then they meet you. And then we're in this Page of Wands energy. So the Page of Wands is representing the energy and kind of capturing the energy of this freedom that they find with you. This page is really eager to pursue the passions of their heart. They're excited. They're not afraid. They throw caution to the wind and decide to live out the full expression of their deepest desires and their passions. So I think this person even finds a lot of inspiration to live out other passions in their life because of what they feel with you. A big part of why and how they recognize you as their partner, as their spouse, is that their passion, it's like that passionate feeling kind of floods back into their life in every area once you're around. They start to notice things that light them up, things that make them happy. They start to move more toward things that are going to be fulfilling to them. It's like they had turned a part of themselves off. They had turned off a piece of their heart or their entire heart. They had turned off their ability to feel things on a deeper level, and you wake that up in them, which it helps them to feel other things as well. I feel like there is a little bit of resistance with this connection, and that's coming from this person really questioning, do I want to wake up? Do I want to feel? Because when we start to feel, we feel all the things. We feel the good and the bad. We're opening ourselves up to emotions of all sorts. But I feel like this person recognizes that they can't connect with you the way that they feel naturally drawn to do if they don't let themselves feel on this deep level. It's like they start to feel their true self again. They start to maybe even feel like their childlike self in some ways. All of that kind of energy, that creative energy, that really inspired, like excited to live life energy starts emerging from them again. And they just have more of this desire to experience life at its fullest because they feel more alive than they have in a long time. I feel like this is not hard for them to recognize. I feel like it's hard for them to admit, but in terms of recognizing you, I feel like that happens very early on and immediately for this person, but it might be a little bit difficult for them to admit. I feel like in a lot of ways they felt like their life was on hold before this connection happened. Two of Wands in reverse, like all of their plans were just either not happening, or they just felt like they couldn't really make any plans, and their way of coping with that was to almost plan to do nothing, to plan to feel nothing, to plan to be closed off in a way. And so it's like all of whatever they did plan for themselves, which was really a life on hold, I have to be honest with you, all of that just goes out the window when you come in. I feel like this person had a feeling of sleepwalking through life before you sparked whatever this is inside of them. There's this feeling that they weren't fully there. They weren't fully engaged. They weren't fully committed. They weren't really feeling. And I feel like there's something healing about this. Tower in reverse, this is about putting things back into place, bringing things back, establishing a new foundation, and in some cases, in this case, it might be rebuilding a foundation that was cracked, a foundation that crumbled. I just saw the Five of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I was going to clarify, but this caught my attention, so I think this is kind of... this is an indication here of how this tower energy happened in the first place. This person felt, they felt disconnected. They felt like they didn't have anyone to depend on. They didn't have anyone to count on. They didn't have anyone that saw them for who they really are. So they had this feeling of being alone, of being withdrawn, but almost like doing it by choice. Or at least that's what they told themselves. But there's something here that shifted where it's like they don't want to do that by choice anymore. Let's see what clarity we can get about this. I actually want to start over here with this Tower and Two of Wands. Clarify this Tower and the Two of Wands for me, please. Wow. I feel like your guides just kind of clarified everything. We have the Nine of Pentacles, the Lover, the Wheel of Fortune, two major arcana cards coming out for you right here, and we had a major arcana in your initial little spread here. So this really is something that is changing this person on a deep level. It's huge themes in their lives. It's like huge stories they told themselves are being rewritten by this connection, and they start to notice that right away. They feel like there's this kind of divine intervention here with this Wheel of Fortune and this Lover's card. This is actually really beautiful. I'm like, it's so in line with the energy I was feeling that I didn't even fully take in, like, wow, you guys just got the Wheel of Fortune and the Lovers and the Nine of Pentacles. Like, this is a big deal. This is a big deal to this person. They recognize you as a divine partner. They recognize the hand of divinity touching this connection. It's like, again, admitting it is a whole separate issue, but they feel kind of like, they feel like they hit the jackpot here. And that feeling of hitting the jackpot is what scares them and what lets them know that this is serious and this is significant. The Nine of Pentacles, sometimes I read this card as like a single card. It's like an independent card, but it's also a card of being very fulfilled with what you have and what you have built. And I feel like this feeling of freedom and intimacy, that's where this Nine of Pentacles is coming from, because this person feels like you really see them. You really see their accomplishments. You see their special qualities. You see even their little quirks and like what's kind of weird about them, and you just appreciate all of that. So it's like they're finding more appreciation even for themselves and the lives that they built and what they've cultivated through your eyes, and they just love they love being acknowledged on that deep level. 10 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. This is somebody who initially sees you as a person they want to build with, they want to build a future with, they want to have a family with, they want to make a legacy with. Like, it's that type of energy, and I feel like that's that, because your initial energy was really, really strong here, and it's like, yeah, how can they deny that? How can they deny these feelings of intimacy and this feeling of being free to be who they are? How could they possibly deny that when they feel it so early on? I just feel like I want to pull a couple of cards from this love story oracle and just see what's going on. Any other information we can get about this connection for number one. How does their future spouse or partner recognize them? Wow. We have control. I'm going to pull another card. How does their future spouse or partner recognize them? Control's card 1 as well. And we also have the Magician, that Magician energy at the bottom of the deck. So I feel like there is some sort of correspondence there. And also kind of that feeling of like the one, of you being the one, them recognizing you as the one. Wow, okay. Let me get one more card for number one, please. How does their future spouse or partner recognize them? We have mystery. Okay. Wow. There's such a transformation here. So, it's so interesting you guys had the control card. I feel like that's part of this energy of, like I was talking about before, this energy of sabotaging their plans, or of changing their mind, ruining what they had laid out for themselves. And it's such odd language that's coming to mind with this. That's how I know that this person has kind of this feeling of like, I feel this, but I don't know if I want to. I feel this, but this is so foreign to me. Because it's like they know that you are it for them. They know that they want to spend their life with you, when they kind of feel like they feel out of control, to be honest. And it feels almost like they transferred all of that control to you, because it's like you have their heart, you have this grip on their heart, and they can't really wriggle out of it like they normally would. They feel like their choices are being dictated by these feelings that they didn't necessarily choose. They want to move closer to you. They want to share with you. And it's like, they didn't choose it, but they can't help it. This is a whole new world for them. This is them venturing into mysterious territory here, into territory that is very unfamiliar to them. And it's like, they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. But it just feels like this person has a hold of my heart. That's the energy here. Yeah. So now I want to look at kind of some of the things that they really love and appreciate about you. So like, what's the biggest gift that you give to this person? What's the biggest gift that you bring into their life? Because I feel like this is a huge part of how they're recognizing this connection, or how they know this connection is significant. What's the biggest gift that you bring into their life? Number one. Okay, you had 2 cards fall out. I was going to pull 2 cards, but let me get this one off of the floor. Okay. And get situated again. Let's see. We have number 15, appreciation. This is that's that 9 of Pentacles energy. That's that freedom energy. This is what makes them feel so free. You display a lot of appreciation for them, who they are, and like their unique qualities, their unique gifts. I feel like you're very open with this person about how they make you feel, about what you love about them, what you enjoy about them, why you like spending time with them, and seeing themselves through your eyes. It brings a whole new light to the situation. It puts a whole new spin on things. They love being appreciated, and this is somebody who does things just to kind of like get that appreciation from you. Like they want to care for you. They want to do special things for you because it's a really reciprocal environment, and they love that you actually appreciate these things about them. They love that you you gas them up. You encourage them to pursue their passions, to follow their heart, to dream. And you appreciate all of what comes out as they pursue these things. You provide this level of stability for them that is different than what they've experienced before. Even in this card, look, she's holding a flower and she's surrounded by like flower bushes. And that, again, that's a recurring theme here. So yeah, it's like they feel like they grow and they blossom because of this level of appreciation that you feel and express for them. They appreciate that. So in that way, it really is. It's very reciprocated. They appreciate being seen, and they appreciate you for being someone who cares enough to connect with somebody on a deep enough level to appreciate these very unique things about them. I want to look also at the biggest change that you inspire in this person, and we're going to take the card that flew out onto the floor. So we have man holding a coin. This is it's always really strong King of Pentacles energy for me with that card. I feel like you make this person want that stability. You make them want to settle down, dare I say, because I feel like this is somebody who maybe never saw themselves that way, or they didn't see themselves staying in a connection for a long time, but you make them want to settle down, to be stable, to be that rock, to be dependable. And I feel like this is somebody who maybe, it's like this feeling of they knew they could depend on themselves. They didn't really know they could depend on anyone else. And when they enter this connection with you, I feel like you inspire them to be more dependable because you are dependable, because you show up and you're inspiring this in them. You're inspiring them to want that stability and to want that knowing that this connection's going to be there. And this is also, again, a feeling of you really inspire them to chase their dreams, and you lead by example by chasing your own. It's so inspirational to them. And I feel like this is somebody who might find more financial stability through chasing these dreams, pursuing some kind of passion that actually makes them financially more stable. So it's interesting. It's like your encouragement and your appreciation, I think, actually has the effect of making them more successful in their life, making them feel more successful, and making them feel like they know where they want to be. They know where their home should be. They know where their base is. They have a good foundation. I'm saying that as I'm noticing that this card's laying right on the top of the Tower card in reverse. So if we're talking about foundations here, the Tower card is all about our foundations. In its upright position, it's about destroying those foundations and rebuilding something new. And we see that there is the energy of something being rebuilt here. And what it's being rebuilt on and as is stable ground. It's being rebuilt on very stable and fertile ground, I will point out, because we have all of this flower imagery. So but their foundations are being built on a much more stable ground with you. And that's part of why there's appreciation for the lessons that they've learned before, even the hurt that they've experienced in the past, because it all led them to this place where they can be more stable. and where these beliefs can be challenged and they can like land on solid ground. So it's a really beautiful feeling. It helps them to learn a lot about themselves too. Wow. Okay. So I think I'm going to leave it there for you, number one. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and letting me read your cards. If you enjoyed this reading, if you resonated with any of the messages here, don't forget to like the video, leave me a comment down below, and hit subscribe if you feel like it. And hopefully I will see you again in another reading really soon. Bye. Hi, number two. If you were drawn to the lepidolite point, this is going to be your reading. We're going to find out how your future spouse or partner will recognize you. So before I jump in with your oracle cards, I just have to tell you that when I lit your second candle, the wick kind of exploded and all of this soot went everywhere. So if something unusual happens before reading, I usually bring it up because I think it has something to do with me tapping into the energy initially. And this is kind of, it's giving me this feeling of a spark, of an explosion, of something kind of popping off. So we're going to keep that in mind as we move through this reading. I think I cleaned up all of the like black soot and smears from the table, but if not, just excuse that. That's all about the spark in this connection. So let's look at your cards and see what we have. To begin with, I want to look at the very initial meeting here. I want to look at the first energies and the first indications that this person has that you are their future spouse or that you are their future partner. So we are going to look here. We have time. Okay, card 41. I feel like the 5 here that this reduces to is significant. 5's representing change. We also have retreat. Okay. There's so much chemistry here. I feel like that, like I'm looking for what that spark was about, and we might kind of get more indications of that, but right now I'm seeing there's a lot of chemistry here. So there is an initial spark. It's almost like there is kind of an initial explosion here. And this person knows that there's something different about you because I feel like they have that kind of energy. Like they could talk to you forever. It's like they can be in your company forever and not get bored. They never run out of things to say. They never get tired of having you by their side. It's kind of like time stands still for them when the two of you are together. They seem to kind of feel like they've been transported to another world where only this connection exists, and they get lost in conversation with you. They get lost in just being in your presence. As I'm seeing that, it's like, that's why I think I'm being called to this idea of a spark or of some kind of chemistry, because that's what that feels like, really. When you meet somebody that it's like, oh, I could talk to you for hours. I never get tired of talking to you, or time just flies by when we're together. It's because there was something there. There was a spark. There was an attraction. So I think that's present here right away. Oh, okay. Your guides are showing me a bubble. Yeah, they're showing me a bubble. It's like the two of you are in your own little bubble. And it's that feeling of the whole world faded away and we're just in this little bubble that exists outside of space and time, is what that feels like. They really value quality time with you. They value alone time with you. I feel like the two of you get each other. Like, I really don't know of a much more articulate way to express the feeling that I'm getting from all of this, because it's like you two just get each other. You just click. It just sparks. And I feel like initially this person wants to move closer to you. They want to maybe strike up a conversation with you, a private conversation. They want to call you. They want whatever this feeling is, but it feels like they want to kind of get you alone, or they want to enjoy that time that the two of you have together, where it's just the two of you, where it's just about your conversations. It's just about what you're sharing. That's what I'm feeling initially. It's like that's different for them. That's different for them. It's a feeling of not being able to get enough, not being able to spend enough time, and they pick up on that right away. Right away from the beginning, I feel like the two of you have like inside jokes, or some kind of banter that's really flowing effortlessly between you. And it's something that other people outside of this connection are able to pick up on immediately. And that is even something that makes this person recognize you as their spouse or their future partner. Because not only do they feel that click, that spark, that explosion, and that connection with you, but people who are close to them or people who are around at the time that the two of you meet, such interesting energy, because I do think some of you are going to meet in a public setting or you meet around friends or something like that. But people who are around their friends, their family, maybe even coworkers, they notice that click too. They notice that chemistry and they comment on the connection that they're seeing. Or they're commenting on how much this person has changed since meeting you. So this could be a thing where these people don't actually see the two of you together, but when they, let's say this person goes to work and their coworkers are like, man, you look good. You look happy. What's going on? You look like you're glowing. You know, you've been so happy lately. You've been in such a good mood. What's going on? It's like, this helps them to realize like, whoa, something has happened here. Because this isn't just something that I feel. Other people are starting to notice it too. They see a change in me, or they see the way that we interact, and they see that spark. It helps them to even recognize the shift that's happening in them. Because when it's pointed out by others, they start to notice it. Like, yeah, I have been happy. Yeah, I feel like there's this increase in commitment too. There's this increase in commitment to things that make them happy, or things that will make them more productive initially after meeting you. And it's like they have this new zest for life. So people might notice like you're more devoted to this thing or to this person. Even if it's the two of you start dating, they might notice like you seem to be more devoted or more set on this person than like you typically are. Like, what's up with that? What's going on? You know, stuff like that. And it's like they start to see like this is real because other people notice it. It's very apparent to people who are close to them, people who know them well. I am kind of picking up on, for them, there's a little bit of doubt in terms of how you feel about them. So there's this kind of desire to be with you, to spend more time with you, to talk to you on a deeper level right from the beginning. And I don't know that they feel completely confident that you feel that same way. It's a boost in their confidence when people around them notice the connection. But there's a little bit of something missing in terms of them knowing that you feel that same way about them. I think that they know that you like them. You seem engaged and you seem interested in what they have to say, but I don't know that they realize you like them in a romantic sense. Or it might even be that it takes you a little bit longer to feel those romantic feelings for this person. Like, I know that there's like this chill vibe between the two of you. There's this like, yeah, we could hang out for hours type of vibe here, but you might not initially be thinking that this is a romantic connection, or the two of you might meet in a way where it's like your mind isn't exactly on romance. You might be focused on something else when you initially meet this person, so you don't even register it that way. But it's like there's this little bit of doubt or this little bit of hang up on their part because they're not sure if those feelings are reciprocated. They kind of feel a little bit almost like they've imagined this whole thing, this connection's in their head. But I do think that people commenting on it helps to reinforce that, so they don't think as much that they have just completely made this whole thing up. I also feel like for some of you, this is a person who maybe was bored in past relationships. It kind of like, there's this feeling that they always felt like time was running out on relationships. Like they were waiting for that time when it would end, when it would inevitably end. And that could be like, sometimes people have patterns, like they usually only date somebody for around 3 months or for around 1 year. And then for one reason or another, these things always fall apart. So there's this sort of feeling of inevitability that they go into this with typically. But I think what they're noticing, initially with you is that they have kind of a different feeling. They kind of see this going the distance. They see themselves spending more time with you. They see it lasting. And it's like they might not have been able to imagine spending forever with one person, or their relationships, like their track record kind of says you don't get forever with one person, you get 6 months or you get 2 years or whatever their pattern is. But they feel that like there's a shift in the pattern here, or they really want there to be a shift in the pattern, and they notice that as different. For some of you, you meet this person at a retreat, a seminar, or like you're on some sort of vacation, and there's a spark. I feel like for some of you, if you do meet this person while you're on vacation, while both of you are on vacation, or it could be that you're visiting their hometown, or vice versa, I feel like there's an initial kind of sense of regret or worry that there is a timer set on this connection. So this is maybe even triggering to some people who have kind of this feeling that there's a certain amount of time that a relationship lasts, or a certain amount of time before a relationship turns sour or something based on their previous experience. Because I do feel like for some of you, there is this feeling of time scarcity when this connection first comes into place, when they first meet you. There might be this feeling that we only have this period of time. Too bad we have to leave in a week, or whatever it might be, because I wish I could get to know this person more, or something like that for some of you. And especially if you do meet this person while traveling or while at a retreat. I feel like, again, there's a group setting here for a lot of you, so you're meeting this person in a group setting. And I also think that with that feeling of not really being so much focused on a romantic connection when the two of you first meet, I think that could be because for some of you this is like a business conference, or this has something to do with work. This could even be a meeting. Like, this doesn't have to be that you traveled across the world, but this could be some sort of meeting, or a group that you belong to, something like that, where you go into this initially thinking one thing and you leave thinking something else. So that could have to do with why this person isn't at first on your radar in terms of romance, because you really could meet them for a totally separate reason. I just feel like there's a moment where the two of you kind of can break away from the crowd, where you can get to know each other a little bit better. And that's when things initially really click for this person. So it's through private conversations, it's through like a walk that you take, it's through maybe even messaging back and forth. It's something that's very personal, and it's about that quality time and that quality connection between the two of you that makes them really see and start to wake up to the fact that they want a future here. Wow, the camera just went way out of focus. I apologize for that. Okay, let's look a little deeper. Something about my shuffling is making the camera go out of focus. Let's look a little bit deeper and see what they start to notice and appreciate as this connection develops. So kind of past those initial feelings, what are they seeing that's making them recognize you as their future spouse or partner? Number 2. How does your future spouse or partner recognize you? You have child magical. It's making me think that, like, for a lot of you, this is something to do with a vacation. This could even be that you live in like a tourist town or like a vacation town, because I just have kind of this magical, whimsical, free-spirited feeling that happens when people are on vacation, or like on a retreat or something like that. So that's not going to resonate for everybody, but for some of you, you might meet in this sort of scenario, and they see this more free-spirited side of you. They see this this really lighthearted side of you, and they're in kind of an environment. It feels like it's the perfect environment to kind of cultivate and nurture this type of relationship for some of you when you initially meet. So that's just kind of confirming some of that energy that came through. This is really sweet. This is very, very sweet energy, and I see how these feelings develop, the feelings that they have for you, how they're developing, because you bring out that childlike wonder in them. You help them see the world with new eyes, and it's like you make them believe in magic again. You make them believe in the impossible or in the unlikely. That just sort of naturally happens. So they see the potential right from the beginning, and as they get to know you, this potential just grows in their mind. Like they just see more and more reasons why this could work. And I think that really has to do with the amount of time that the two of you spend together, like in those beginning stages. Even if this isn't physically spending time together, this could be, like I was saying, this could be messaging, keeping in contact in some way. But it's like the more time that they spend with you, the more they realize that they're never getting sick of spending time with you, which is what really stands out to them. And the way also the two of you align on so many different things. That's why I think conversation flows very naturally between the two of you. It's not forced, it's not difficult, and the more you talk and the more you share, the more they start to see, oh, we're aligning on these things. And it's so refreshing for them, because I feel like the two of you have similar goals. You have similar aspirations. You might want to travel to the same places. You might both want to start a family, or maybe you both don't want to start a family. With this energy here, I do see that might be at least a topic that comes up. And for some of you, this might be about a desire to have children. But the point is that you align. Maybe you're in similar careers, or you share hobbies. And the more you talk and share with each other, the more you start to see, wow, we're very much alike. We really line up on a lot. And like, yeah, I'd like to get to know this person more. It's even this feeling of things that maybe interest you or interest them that you haven't really had the time to delve into very deeply. It's like this person knows a lot about it. You know, let's say you're interested in I don't know, like you might be interested in playing the piano, but you're not really that experienced with it, but you know, you practice here and there, and then this person happens to be like a brilliant piano player, and it's like, oh wow, this is so cool. We share this interest, and even though I'm not maybe as advanced as you are, we really connect like this, and I can learn from you, and you can learn from me. It's that kind of vibe, and it has a magical feeling about it. Yeah, it's that spark. It feels magical to spark with somebody like that. What is that? I'm thinking of like Hotel Transylvania right now, I think. It is October, so I feel justified in this, but it's like the zing. So if you've seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about, but that's what I think that's what this is. It's like having that spark and that magical connection with somebody that you really pick up on right away. And the more this develops, the more this person realizes that wasn't just a fluke. Like the more we talk, the more time we spend, the better this gets. The more I see that we really are aligned on a lot of things, and we really do kind of open each other's eyes to new possibilities, which is, it's a very, I want to say enlivening feeling. Like it feels like it really, it breathes a lot of life into this person, into this connection. Yeah, it's like they light up. Yeah, I feel this person actually lighting up when they meet you, because some part of them didn't know that it was possible, or believe that it was possible to find somebody that they felt these types of possibilities with. If that makes sense. That's a lot of possible talk, but all these possibilities they see with you, it's like they didn't really see that, because I feel like this is somebody who might have had to sacrifice parts of themselves in relationships before, and they've kind of grown to believe that that's just how it is. Like they're just gonna have to change, or they're just gonna have to give up parts of themselves. maybe can't do the things they used to love to do, because that's just what it means to be in a relationship, because they've been in situations where the click wasn't there, like the similarities weren't there. So at that point, they might have felt like they were always on different pages. But with you, it's like they're on the same page with you. Yeah, they see the two of you lining up. I feel like the maybe the best way to say this is, they kind of see that rather than having to shelve their dreams, they might actually be able to explore more of their dreams and more of their passions with you by their side, because it's like the two of you can accomplish more together than you can apart. And that's a different scenario than they've had previously. And it's like you bring a ton of optimism into their life. That might be because you are the type of person that tends to see the bright side, or you have a way of kind of knowing how to view the glass as half full. But I also think that you give them a sense of optimism and hope about their future, because you kind of bring a little touch of magic to their life. You make things bright and more fun. I feel like you make the most mundane tasks and parts of life seem interesting. So they kind of enjoy doing, like, even the lamest, the boring, the most boring, the most mundane. They almost look forward to doing these things because you just have a way of brightening that up for them. So let's look at your tea leaf cards that I pulled for you before this reading. We're going to see how this ties into this energy here. We have, how does it tie in? It's, to me, this is very, very similar energy. The sunrise energy, new creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start. Yeah. What else do we have? We have haystack. This is karma. You will reap what you have sown. Oh, wow. I mean, talk about brightening up their life here with this sunrise energy. So it's really, really interesting. And I do see you bring a lot of brightness. You bring a lot of warmth into this person's life. It's like it's like literally turning the lights back on and giving them new hope. So this connection really feels like a new chapter to them. And in a lot of ways, this is a connection that they feel they've been attracting or drawing into their life, but at the same time, one that they didn't really think they would find. So I do feel like this is someone who had, they had maybe the dream of clicking like this, of bonding like this, but it just hasn't, I just feel like it really hadn't happened for them yet. Like they didn't really know if that was possible for them. But at the same time, it's always been the hope. It's always been kind of the thing at the back of their mind. Like, if that could happen, that would be great. But they just might not have a lot of experience with that. The haystack makes me think of like a needle in a haystack. Something very rare, something that would be nearly impossible to locate. That's kind of how they view this connection, as a rare find. I feel like what's standing out as rare in this connection between the two of you is that both of you in previous relationships might have felt like you were the one kind of giving your all. You were the one fully committed to making things work. You were the one putting in a lot of the effort. Yet that effort, it's like it didn't seem like that effort was paying off. But in this connection, you're both kind of finding somebody who's willing to put in the time, to make the commitment, to devote themselves to seeing how this will unfold. And honestly, really, this is such a refreshing feeling for both of you. And we're looking at how this person recognizes you, but I can't help but say, like, you're recognizing this too, because if you have felt like you're like doing relationships by yourself a lot, this is not what this connection feels like. It feels like that time and that devoted attention is being paid to this from both ends, from both sides. Yeah, definitely a devotion of time, quality time. And that might have something to do with like one of your love languages or something, because I keep thinking of it in terms of love language, quality time. So that might be like the one thing that someone can do to show you that they really care, or that could be your person's energy, you being interested in them, you wanting to kind of escape with them, have these conversations, get lost in each other. that's something that both of you really recognize as important, because quality time is important. Yeah. I feel like this haystack card, this is talking about good karma here. In this case, like looking at what I'm seeing here, especially in connection with the sunrise, this child magical, this is talking about good karma. So this is reaping the benefits and the rewards of what may not have been able to be realized in previous connections. There's something really nice about not having to work so hard. So this person kind of recognizes how rare and how beautiful this is, and how divinely timed this union is as well. So that's a huge part of this too with this time. There's this element of divine timing here. There's really an element of like balancing the scales from previous relationships, even balancing that back out. We have the Six of Cups. Balance. The Six of Cups is about balance. It's about reciprocation. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like somehow this connection really balances things out for them. It makes them see things in a different way. And they start to realize that like a lot of the work that wasn't seen and wasn't appreciated in past relationships is being appreciated in this connection. King of Pentacles reversed. How does number two's future spouse or partner recognize them? What do they see? What do they see in them about this connection? The Hierophant reversed. Wow. What else? Number two. Three of Swords reversed. Wow, there's a lot of reversals here. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Pentacles. This person is, they move slowly, they move with intention. I'm just really picking up on their energy and their vibe right now. They move with intention, and I feel like that has a lot to do with this energy of time. They're willing to take their time for something that matters, for something that's lasting. They don't rush. They don't rush around. They don't rush into things. You can really feel the devotion from this person. They might be a little bit slow to make a move, but it feels like they like to really understand people. And in this connection, they want to really understand you. They want to know you. They want to peel back the layers one by one. I feel like this is someone who enjoys being very thorough in how they connect with somebody. So this isn't really so much a vibe of like trying to hold back. It's about taking things, I want to say, nice and slow, because it is nice. Like it feels good. It feels good to to spend this time to slow down and to really connect. So I feel like for some reason in your group, number two, like I'm getting a lot more of this person's energy and also how they make you feel, which is very interesting. They make you feel like they're taking the time to really know and appreciate you. Like they will set aside time to make you an important person in their life. So very interesting there that's coming through. It's reciprocated. It's reciprocated. Okay, this is why that's coming through, but really I'm feeling it on their end. I'm feeling what's coming from their side, but the Six of Cups energy, balancing the scales, yes, it's totally reciprocated. This is why this person feels comfortable devoting this time to you in this connection, because they feel it coming from you as well. They feel this desire for you to get to know them, to spend time with them, to make it quality, and they know that this is rare. They know that this feeling is not something that you find every day. I also see a lot of changes happening in this person's life. This is, of course, what's waking them up to this knowledge that you are their future spouse or their future long-term partner, because with all these reversals, there's a lot shifting for them. Especially with this major arcana here. There's a lot that shifts. It's really their commitment. I feel like it's their commitment to this connection that's making them take a different view. It's kind of making them see that the world wasn't maybe what they thought it was. This idea that they don't have to change themselves, or they don't have to let pieces of themselves go to have this beautiful connection. In fact, the two of you can kind of enhance each other when they start to see that they're being enhanced by this, that the world seems more magical, that they're being really given the time and the space to get to know you on this deep level. That's when things start to really shift and really click for them. I feel like loyalty is very important to this person, and it's almost like they would rather be alone than be committed to somebody who isn't loyal to them. So this could speak to something that has gone on in their past. We do have this Three of Swords in reverse, so this person may have been in a relationship where someone betrayed them. Because I do have this feeling of like, if it's not going to be real, I'd rather just be alone. If they're not going to be loyal, if they're not going to be here for me, then I'd rather just be alone. But what they're seeing from you is that that loyalty is there, that commitment is there, and they appreciate that. They've definitely experienced heartbreak before. And because we have this Hierophant here and the King of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like this heartbreak, for some of you, this person, this past heartbreak for them could have led to some sort of financial loss for them. It could have, it could be that they dissolved a marriage, or they dissolved a serious commitment where finances were involved and where their sense of stability was shaken. The King of Pentacles in reverse can sometimes show someone who has been overly focused on building or rebuilding, I'll say in this case, because if this is about a breakup or something, this could be someone who's been really focused on rebuilding their wealth. Someone who might have devoted a lot of time to their work and kind of forgotten to balance out all of the important aspects of their life. I feel like for many of you, this could have been kind of the state that this person was in before meeting you. And they could have been in a little bit of a rut, I'll say. A little bit of a rut. Just kind of working. I feel like this person might have been in a rut working or building that stability, building that financial future for themselves. And they're kind of just like taking care of whatever their responsibilities are, going to sleep, waking up and doing it over again. I really do get that energy here, because they knew something was out of balance is what I'm picking up on. But they also have a lot of clarity about what they want in this connection. They have a lot of clarity about what would be, I'll put it like this haystack feeling and this needle in the haystack. It feels kind of to me like this is someone who has a very good idea of what that rare find would be. They also knew they hadn't found it yet. And it's like they were building up their own personal accomplishments, achievements. They're working hard, they're saving money, they're very focused on what they have in front of them, because that was kind of all they had on their plate. And I feel like this is someone who's also very aware. So they were probably aware that life was getting a little bit out of whack for them, that things were getting a little unbalanced, that maybe they were focusing just too much on work or on their achievements or something like that. But it's like that's really what they had available to them to pour into at that time. And I think that the reason all of this is shifted this way is because there is a change that happens when they meet you. And I feel like this isn't a change that's necessarily hard for this person to make, because they do realize how rare and beautiful this connection is. And it's almost like they were just kind of using their time the way that they could. Biding their time is kind of how it feels. Like they might have been pouring themselves into work, but only because they were waiting, they were hopeful that a beautiful connection like this would come into place for them. And they might not have fully believed it, but they were hopeful about it. It's really interesting. This connection has a healing effect on them, on their heart specifically. This sweet, sweet Six of Cups energy, it represents like the loyalty and the devotion that they find. And that's what's strong enough to break them out of this rut, to break them out of these cycles. It's that loyalty and devotion, the thing that's most important to them, the thing that they're looking for. And they recognize it in you. They have such a clear idea. I have to tell you, this person has a clear idea of what they want, and they do see it initially when they meet you. It's like kind of making them feel like they're living a full spectrum of experiences, a full spectrum life at this point. Let's clarify this energy a little bit more. I kind of want to know. I want to know about this Three of Swords in reverse, because I know there's healing here. I know there's healing here that's taking place as a result of this connection. See if we can figure out like what this is about. Three of Swords in reverse, Hierophant in reverse. Clarify this Three of Swords, Hierophant in reverse, please. Six of Cups again. I was saying that's the most important thing. The Six of Cups is about this beautiful, sweet, nurturing connection that's balanced. It can be nostalgic energy. It can be the energy of someone from your past returning. It's about loyalty and devotion. And this is coming out as something that's very important to this person and very recognizable to this person. And then kind of clarifying this energy of the Three of Swords in reverse and the Hierophant in reverse, we have the Six of Cups again. So again, that balance. But I think what's happened here is that trust, that loyalty, it was broken for them in the past. And it could have been, Hierophant in reverse could have been a divorce. So it was broken for them in the past. And this is something they're immediately able to pick up on. This feeling of like, oh, here it is. I found it. Like, this is what I've been looking for. It feels like something that they recognize immediately, and they're willing to shift things around to accommodate this. Let me see. Oh. Page of Swords. This came out almost in the reverse. Almost in the reverse. Yeah. There's kind of this feeling. There's this feeling of them being very curious, of wanting to explore, wanting to communicate. When we were talking about like the conversations that the two of you had, they're very curious about you. They want to explore this connection. In terms of, I think in terms of conversation for a lot of you is what this feels like. And this could be at a distance, talking on the phone, but I feel like it's those initial conversations that really sparks things for them, and that's why we're seeing this Page of Swords. It's these initial communications and this initial connection where they're like, wow, there's really something here. Let's see if we can get one. I'd like one card, please. Can we get one card? Wow. Yeah. Yeah. The Seven of Wands. There's this feeling of them not wanting to be guarded anymore, not wanting to have to protect themselves, but there was the need for them to protect themselves at one point. There was a need for them to heal from a past betrayal or from something falling apart, and it's like they don't want to feel guarded. They want to explore. And this is actually very opposite energy. I've never really thought about the Seven of Wands and the Page of Swords being such opposite energy. But when I think about somebody guarded like that, this is like somebody who doesn't want to share, doesn't want to communicate. They want to have their walls up. And this person wants to let their walls down and really share and communicate with you. They want to exchange ideas with you. And because the two of you are in alignment in this way, it makes it so much easier. So yeah, bottom of the deck, Ten of Wands. This is so much energy clarifying this Three of Swords and what this healing is about. Like, it has felt to them like things were an uphill battle, or like trying to get something to stay in their life, trying to get something to remain magical has been really hard for them. Like I was talking about, it felt sometimes like time was running out on situations, or things would eventually turn sour if enough time went by. But it's not that way with you, and they notice that. They notice that it's not hard. It just seems like it comes naturally. Conversation flows naturally. Their experience with you, it just seems to flow naturally. So I'm going to see what else we can get about this with some love story oracle cards. Messages do you have for number 2? How does their future spouse or partner recognize them? You make things easier for them too. You make it easy for them to kind of put their burdens down, to share their burdens with you, communicate. Like, that's another thing that really stands out to them. They don't have to carry the weight of the world on their shoulders, and they don't have to carry it alone. They have somebody who's willing to listen, who's willing to offer advice, and they value your advice. They value the role that you play in their life. They love that. They grow to love that about you. We have true love. Kind of self-explanatory there. This person feels like they found true love with you. What other messages do we have for number 2? Oh, we have confusion here. Wow, they're coming from a place of confusion here. They're like, I feel like they're coming from a place of not understanding why these things haven't worked. And we have kind of these opposing forces, true love and confusion. I feel like this connection makes things a lot more clear to them. We have the Freedom card at the bottom of the deck. It makes things more clear to them than it ever has been before. They've been confused about why relationships have fallen apart. They've been confused about why they've been betrayed, why things haven't been balanced, why they were the one doing all the work. 10 of Wands. They've been so confused about that. And it's like, when you find true love, the confusion kind of melts away, because now they're having this injection of all of this positive energy. And this is that karma, that good karma that we were talking about, finding that very rare thing. And they recognize it as rare, because I just feel like they've had a lot of not so pleasant experiences. Yeah, I feel like this person just can really relate to kind of feeling like they were the only ones devoted in previous relationships. They were the only ones putting in the work. I want to look at what this person really loves and appreciates about you. So I want to look in 2 places. I want to look at what is the biggest gift that you bring into their life. So what do they just love about having you, wow, in their life? We have Journey. Card 2. I love that. I love that it's a 2, because it kind of gives me like 2 of Cups energy. It's giving me counterpart energy. They love just being in that like that true love place with you, that connected place, just the 2 of you, that quality time we were talking about, just the 2 of you. They like that one-on-one time, which would be 2. 1 + 1 = 2. And I love that. This Journey card. It's like you're taking them on an adventure. You're taking them on a little bit of a journey through their emotions, through their heart space. And not only that, like, you know, we were talking about travel before. This is really making me, it's reiterating that, because this Journey card can represent travel. So this can be literal travel. It can be more of a figurative travel, because I do think for some of you, this is about the journey that you're taking them on, the things you're showing them, the magic that's unfolding in their life. But for others of you, you're traveling with this person, you're meeting this person on a trip, and you're giving them the gift of partnership here. That's what they love. So I also want to look at what is the biggest change that you inspire in this person? What is the biggest change that number 2 inspires in their future spouse or partner? We have the first chakra. This is Archangel Michael. This is about our stability, our foundations. I feel like there's this feeling of them being more stable now. And that would make a lot of sense, because the idea of stability has come up multiple times in your reading, and this balancing act of the Six of Cups. I feel like there is kind of this this feeling of them being grounded, stable, having this firm foundation, having this feeling of, I wonder if this will make sense, but I feel like for a lot of you, this person didn't feel like their basic needs were being met in relationships that they've been in the past. They didn't feel like the basic, like to them, it's very basic that a relationship will be loyal and committed. And I think they've had experiences where some of the most basic fundamental parts of any kind of relationship that they ever saw themselves in were violated. They were not honored. And it just feels like with you, that foundation is there. They know that the loyalty is there. They know the commitment is there. And not only that, there's that initial spark and all of these areas where the two of you are lining up. And that allows your connection to be built on very firm ground here, because the two of you line up to create this stable foundation for each other. When we go into relationships with people that we're not in alignment with, that foundation's not like that. That foundation's like this. It's like somebody's up here and over there, and this one's down here and over there, and it's like we try to build this relationship on top of something where we never were really aligned in the first place, but there was some kind of attraction or something, so we ignore it. And it's like they've experienced things like that, and this is different for them. This is like, we can always come back to our fundamental values, to these areas where we shared common interests or something like that. We can always come back to that. And that's what they find so beautiful about this connection. And that's the biggest change for them. Like it's something that I think they have not experienced, having that firm foundation, being on the same page, being in alignment on this level. And it makes them want to grow more. It makes them want to build off of that, to build and grow off of this really stable, grounded place. I love that. I love this energy. And I love the clarity that this connection seems to bring to them, because it clears up all sorts of confusion for them. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. Number 2, thank you so much for hanging out with me and letting me read your cards. If you did like this reading, if you resonated with any of these messages, don't forget to like the video, leave me a comment down below, and hit subscribe if you feel like it. And hopefully I will see you again in another reading really soon. Bye. Hi, number 3, if you were drawn to the blue calcite, this is going to be your reading. We are going to be looking at how your future spouse or partner will recognize you. So we're going to use your first 2 oracle cards to look at that initial energy. We're going to look at the very beginning of this connection and what draws this person to you, what makes them recognize you at first as somebody who there might be a future with, there might be a connection with. So what is that initial energy that draws them in? We have friendship. Interesting. And we have reconciliation. Okay. There's very specific messages coming through for some of you with this connection. First of all, I really love this energy. It feels like there's a real bond between the two of you. Something that's deeper than surface level attraction, because we have this friendship thing. So I do think that initially they feel that something, they feel that this connection can be built off of something more than like a surface level thing, or a very frivolous thing, because it doesn't have to be about physical attraction, but it's nothing frivolous. There's something deeper here with this energy. For some of you, this friendship energy could be very literal. You and your future spouse or partner might start out in the friend zone, especially with this reconciliation card, which talks about somebody from your past returning to your life. So this may be somebody who kind of filled the role of friend in your life at one time, and then they move into a very different role. Very interesting. Definitely getting the feeling for a lot of you, this starts out very friendly, or it starts out very casually. This doesn't even have to be somebody that you were necessarily friends with, but it is kind of the feeling of a connection where You could have been in a situation where this connection never really progressed into the committed partnership that maybe one or both of you were looking for at the time. So this could be like a near miss type of situation that we have here. And it's not that you ever really considered this person your friend or your good friend, but it's someone where it's like, we weren't really romantic partners, but I kind of felt something, but then I don't know what happened. It just faded away, because there is this feeling of someone coming back into your life. Wow. The fact that we're looking at the energy of how this person will recognize you as their future spouse or partner, and especially initially, this really shows me that if this is someone from your past, or someone where the connection never really got started the way that you wanted it to, maybe you were never really clear about their feelings for you, or something was standing in the way of this connection. This person has like recognized the importance of this connection, or they did recognize it. Even back then, even when they were in your life previously. So if this message is resonating for you, and we're going to get into like another message that's coming through with this, but if this message is resonating for you, and this is somebody that you feel like could be from your past, the energy of this is this person did actually recognize that there was more here. Even when the two of you were operating as friends, or you were operating on a very casual level, they knew it then. They knew it back then. They just didn't act on it, or they didn't say anything about it. Yeah. And there could have even been this feeling of not wanting to ruin a friendship, not wanting to take things too far, or something like that. And then this connection could have kind of slipped through their fingers. Yeah, this is somebody for a lot of you that never confessed their feelings for you. And it's not really until this person comes back into your life that they're ready to take the step to move out of that energy of friendship and out of that energy of something that is super casual into something more committed. Now, I have to say, for some of you, if this isn't a person that you've met yet, this is the energy of somebody who enters your life in a casual capacity, or enters your life in a friendship capacity. And then it's like, we're looking at the very beginning stages, so I'm going to look into this deeper and see what happens, but I feel like this is somebody who does not initially recognize what this connection is, or they don't initially have the courage to step out of the friendship or the casual zone with you, whatever that zone is, where like they feel comfortable or they feel like it's appropriate. They don't have the courage at first. This is somebody who might have to deal with the idea of this connection slipping through their fingers. They might have to confront the fear of losing this connection before they realize that this is something they want to progress past a friendship. Yeah, I feel like for a lot of you, this person will be confessing their feelings for you and admitting that they had been feeling this way, that they had been feeling this pull. They felt this connection way before they had the courage to say it. This is regardless of if you've met this person or not. They they don't fully realize it, or they're not willing to speak up about it at first. Now, if this is someone from your past, or someone that you have kind of shared a connection with previously, I feel like, yeah, it started out friendly. This person recognizes the qualities of friendship in you. They recognize your kindness. So I'm feeling into more like what they like about you, whether they were looking at you as a friend or not. They were recognizing how kind you are. They were recognizing how supportive you are and how much support you offer them. They were recognizing kind of this feeling of you always having their back. Like you're always there for them. You're always willing to help. You're always willing to listen. And they see you as somebody that they want in their life initially, really, regardless of how this starts. This is how they see it. They see like, this person is so kind and caring. This is somebody that I don't want to lose. I think this is why they're confronting this feeling of loss, because they recognize you as somebody they don't want to lose, even before they recognize that they have more than friendly feelings for you. So I feel like that plays in. In a lot of ways, this person can't imagine their life without you. They can't imagine not having that support from you. not being able to share the simple things with you, to share just kind of what's going on in their life, just the day-to-day stuff. They really value that initially. So at the base of this, there's friendship. There's kind of this feeling of almost being best friends, and kind of filling this really special and important role in each other's lives. And the fact that this is coming through as initially, this is somebody you might really feel like, oh, we're going to be friends forever, or they just initially feel like this person's going to be in my life. This person is cool. This, like they don't even question it. And I really think for a lot of you, they're not realizing how deep this goes for them. There's this feeling that this person will always return to you, because this is about so much more than, like I was talking about, the frivolous thing. It's about so much more than physical attraction. Although that is there and it's an important part of this connection, it's so much more than that. There's a true partnership and companionship here, and losing you means losing losing a potential lover, losing a best friend. And it's when they realize that they can't imagine life without their best friend or without their partner in crime, the person who really sees them, the person that really feels like home to them. It's when they really know that, that's when they feel like this is something they want to be committed to on a deeper level. I love that the energy of 22 is here, 2-2, because it's kind of showing me that the two of you are very equally matched. It's balanced energy. It's a balanced partnership, but both of you have committed and harmonious energy coming into this connection. That's what's on your mind, and that's your main goal. It's like both of you are focused on this energy of 2 individually, but you're also focused on the energy of the 2s joining. So I love that, because you're kind of in the same place in terms of what's going on in your mind, or your goal and your approach to this connection. Both of you kind of view this as a beautiful and important union. That's actually a lot of very kind of like it's dense energy for initial impressions. And I feel like the reason that it's coming through like that is because for a lot of you, this is somebody that you have already met and you already have had a friendship with, and maybe you've even lost contact with this person or disconnected from this person. And for those of you who haven't met this person, I feel like this energy starts out very casual. It starts out very friendly. Or the expectation for it to be friendly is there, and it's like it develops into something more. And I feel like that's a little bit confusing for this person to feel like we're friends, but I want more, but I don't want to say anything. I feel like this person is someone I want to have in my life. I don't want to ruin that. I feel like they're having a lot of these thoughts right away in this connection. So let's look a little bit deeper and see how things progress as you move into this connection. What is this person really seeing in you? What's really drawing them to you? What's keeping them hooked past that initial energy? Number 3, how does your future spouse or partner recognize you? How does your future spouse or partner recognize you? Oh, we have artist. Oh, this is getting more interesting, you guys. Some of you may be an artist or have a very artistic side. You might have an artistic career, or you might live a very free-spirited life in some way. And I feel like this person loves your creative side. They love this like unconventional side of you, whatever that might be. It could just be like the little quirks in your personality. They like these things about you that make you different, that make you unique, that make you really interesting. That's also probably why they have this friendship feeling initially in this connection, because they really feel, like I was saying, they're like, this person is cool. It's like they're connecting with you on this level of like, yeah, this is totally somebody that I would want to have in my life. So, totally somebody I would want to hang out with. Oh, they're so cool. They're so interesting. So they really might not think that the feelings are going to develop past that, or they might not be comfortable expressing a desire to develop these feelings past that. But this is what's really standing out. And I think this is what really makes them realize like, oh, I can't ignore this. This person is so unique. I'm vibing with this person so much. I love the way they see the world is how this is coming through. They like the way you express your unique point of view. The more they get to know you, the more they find things that make them want to commit, that make them want to make this serious. The two of you might connect over a shared love of music. For some of you, music is being highlighted specifically. You might meet this person while you're pursuing some sort of artistic passion of yours. Both of you might have an artistic side. And if that's the case, I think this person wants to find someone that they can connect with on this level. They find this artistic side of you and your imagination very, very attractive. They're drawn to this imaginative side of you, this creative side of you. You inspire them to look at the world differently. You inspire them to feel more. As this card says, this is about experiencing a dimension of life that's beyond the five senses. So this is telling me that although this person may have perceived the world one way, maybe as a very black and white type of situation, or maybe they've perceived the world through their analytical mind. It's like you wake them up to a new way of sensing and interacting with the world. They really feel something with you. Like I was saying before, it's beyond physical attraction or anything that they can experience with their five senses. This isn't just the way that you look that makes them want to connect with you. It's not just for some reason smell is being highlighted, and I know this is weird, but it's like it's not just even the way that you smell. So I think that this person this is such interesting energy. It's a very sensory experience that they're kind of taking me on here, and it's like all of those boxes are ticked. It's like this person feels so good, they look so good, they smell so good, like everything about them is so good, and still that's not the reason that I can't get enough of them. Like, sure, that contributes to it, but it's not that. It's something else. It's this feeling you awaken within them. It's honestly, it's this undeniable feeling, and it might be something that they struggle to put into words, because that's kind of that's the vibe it's giving me. I'm struggling to put this into words. It's like, it's not that, it's something else. Can't really put my finger on it. It's like, yeah, the attraction is there for sure. The attraction's there on all these levels, but there's something else that I can't look past. It's like this connection somehow has molded or shaped them into a different person. I just heard putty in your hands. They are putty in your hands. This person kind of feels like you're molding them and reshaping them from the inside out. And that's a very powerful feeling. This is what keeps them hooked. This is why even past that initial feeling, or if they do have feelings of friendship, if they meet you in a very friendly, casual capacity, this is why they keep developing more and more feelings for you, and why they're like, no, I can't lose this person. This person has to be in my life again, or this person has to stay in my life, because it's like something is being reshapen within them. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like they didn't really think anyone could change them. In a lot of ways, they didn't think it was even possible. So it's like the power that you have to make them see things differently is very noticeable to them. It's something that really stands out to them, because there's a lot they never thought that they would change their mind about. They might be stubborn. They might be kind of a stubborn person. I have your tea leaf cards that I pulled for you before the reading. Let's look at them. Let's see what this is about, how this ties in with this artist energy. We have leg, stepping into a new experience. Why did I just hear I all these references to like sculpting keep coming to mind, or drawing, like this putty in your hands thing, and like being a model or something like that. I don't know if that would resonate for anybody, but I see somebody like kind of sculpting something, like working with a model and sculpting that model. And this idea of you reshaping them. And you know what? How I was talking about all of the physical stuff, all of the surface level things, or the things that they can experience with their senses, are like all those boxes are ticked, but yet there's still something more that is drawing them in. I feel like this idea of sculpting or molding something really is, it's how they see you on that surface level. It's like if they could have sculpted you, if they could mold you into exactly what they would want physically, that's who they see in front of them. And I just feel like there's this part of them that doesn't want to get caught up in that. They don't want to get hooked on somebody just for these surface level things, but it's like still they recognize, if I could have just like put together my perfect person, this is that person in terms of like all these things that I can experience with my five senses. And then there's so much more beyond that. Let's look at this. We also have hat. You will be playing a different role. You know, this is so interesting how this is coming through. Yeah, this is a brand new experience for them. I feel like it's such a contrast between what they have with you and what they've experienced previously. So it's not really that difficult for them to recognize that you're someone they want to have in their life. And I think at first they feel like, well, the best way to have this person in my life for the long haul is to be friends with them, honestly. Yeah, with you they're having a different experience, and there's an obvious contrast between one, life with and without you. So this is something that really stands out to them, and this might be all of the situations are going to vary. This could be because this is someone who was in your life previously. They have to almost lose you before they realize this. This could be somebody that you are not that close to physically. Maybe there's a distance, and when they're away from you, it really sparks something. The two of you aren't as close as you used to be. Something like that. It really sparks something. So however it is that they realize that there's a difference between life with you in it and life not with you in it, life without you, they really realize that on a deep level. So that's one thing that stands out to them. And then two, there's a real contrast between how they want and how they desire to show up, what role they desire to play in your life versus what role they have felt they wanted to play in previous relationships. You see this hat card, it says you'll be playing a different role. I love that, because for a lot of you, this does start out as a friendship. Things start out really, just kind of easy, and they just evolve organically. And that kind of shows that even if you've been in the friend zone with this person, even if there's been a period of separation, even if you know this person in one capacity at first, like as a coworker or something where the relationship is kind of casual, that role that this person's playing in your life, and the role that they want to play in your life is going to change and evolve. And I feel like for a lot of you, this connection goes from like super casual. This could have even been like a friends with benefits type of situation, super casual, to a serious situation for this person. That's really a major indication of like what makes them see the importance and the depth of this, because those serious feelings really develop inside of them, and they don't necessarily plan to feel that way, but they can't stop it. The world around them has been reshaped, it's been remolded, and they can't really stop it. So in some way, this person's role in your life shifts from friend to lover, from friends with benefits to committed relationship, from out of your life to back in it. Something changes here. I also like this reference to playing a different role, because with this artist energy here, this could be another kind of reference to the arts, particularly the performing arts. So that might have something to do with, oh my gosh, and we have the leg. That might have something to do with your connection. I just thought how you tell like a performer to break a leg before performance. So there's all of these references to some sort of artistic expression or performing in some way. So you might meet somebody, you might meet this person at a work event, an event having to do with your artistic hobby, a concert I'm even seeing, a play, stage performance, something like that. You might meet them there, as like it could be something you're attending, it could be something that the two of you are participating in together, but there's all these references to an artistic expression. Very interesting. Very interesting. I do have to say, and I've already touched on this a couple of times, but like the physical attraction here is off the charts. This person, they love your style. Like they love the way you present yourself. They love the way you carry yourself. They're very drawn to you on a physical level. And there's even a reference specifically to your legs being a point of attraction for this person. But they're attracted to you on so many different levels, and they love how adaptable you are. They love how expressive you are. They love the way that you've been able to shape and mold yourself into this strong person. So it's like, yes, that physical attraction is there. It's there on every level. It's even like the way you dress. Like they're very attracted to the way that you present yourself. And that could be because you like to dress up and like you really have a flair for fashion, but it could also be that like you're super casual, you're down to earth, you got just kind of like your own vibe, your own style. It's a little unconventional. It's something about your style really catches their attention. Let's look at some tarot here. Oh wow, okay. Let's give one more shuffle. For number 3, and let's look a little bit deeper. What's going on in this connection? How does your future spouse or partner recognize you? Number 3, 2 of Swords. Oh. How does your future spouse or partner recognize you? Oh, we had 2 cards flip. Let's see. 3 of Swords, more swords, 8 of Pentacles, one more card. One more card. Oh, wow. Okay. I might have to pause. Let's see. We're not going to take everything that just fell out of the deck because it was a lot. One more card, please. All right. There we go. The World. Talk about reshaping. Talk about a change of perspective here with the World card. Bottom of the deck, the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is about wishes come true, wish fulfillment, a lot of abundance, a lot of good news, good stuff. They recognize you because you make them so happy. You make them so joyful. I love this 9 of Cups. This is one of my favorite images on any 9 of Cups cards in any deck that I have, because it's like, it's this feeling of just absolute celebration, freedom, joy, and abundance. And I feel like this is a major part of how this person is recognizing you, this feeling you give them. And that's what I was talking about. Like, yes, the attraction's there and all of the things that have initially attracted them to a person is there, but there's something they can't put their finger on. There's something so joyous about it that they can't quite describe it. Looking at this with this 2 of Swords, I feel like, oh, this is very interesting energy, especially because we've talked about this person playing multiple roles in your life, playing different roles in your life, starting out as a friend, turning into a lover, starting out as something casual, turning into something serious. I feel like this person has a lot of indications initially that you are someone they want to have in their life, but it's like they can't make this decision between, should I go this way or that way? And the main concern here is losing you. It's, how can I keep this person in my life? And I think that they initially think the best, the most solid and predictable way to do that is to be your friend. but there's something inside of them that's telling them that they want more. They just don't want to get hurt here. This is why there would be any hesitations. Three of Swords energy, they don't want their heart to be ripped apart by this connection. The Two of Swords, although it can talk about like a difficult decision or trying to come to even a compromise, sometimes trying to come to a compromise. And they could feel like they tried to compromise with this, like they try to move the connection forward a little bit, but maintain this friendship, or they try to stay away, but they can't do it. It's that kind of feeling, this push and pull feeling. But what I love about the Two of Swords is, even though this is very head-focused energy, this is very analytical energy, because she's blindfolded, there's a feeling of this decision comes from the heart. This decision comes from an intuitive knowing. There might be a lot of outside influences or a lot of experiences that you've had that try to tell you otherwise, but really this decision is going to come from the heart. So I feel like this person is at a crossroads when it comes to this connection at first. They're like, how do I do this? What do I do when I meet the perfect person and I'm afraid that that could fall apart? Should I walk away from it? Should I run away from it? Should I maintain a friendship? Should I take this to a deeper level? Should I reconnect? Should I, whatever the situation is? And ultimately their answer is to follow their heart, to set aside their past hurts, their past disappointments, or any hurts and disappointments that they might be projecting into the future, because a lot of this is fear of them losing you, and fear is really a projection into the future. Sometimes it's based on our past experiences, but they have to follow their heart here. And that's the conclusion that this person comes to, that they're going to follow their heart. We have this Eight of Pentacles energy, which can show a connection that the two of you might have around the work that you do, which we were already kind of dancing around, because the two of you might be in some sort of artistic work, or you might be entrepreneurs or something like that. So there might be a connection over your work. You might meet this person at work or at their place of work. But because I feel this internal deliberation, I do feel like this might be referencing the work that this person's doing to make themselves ready for this connection, or the work that they're doing to get past this deliberation, this difficult decision. It's like putting their head down and really figuring this out, mastering something, mastering a part of themselves. Yeah, I feel them stepping into a new cycle, or wanting to change the dynamic of the relationship with you at some point. And for a lot of you, that's from friend to more. Moving on, leaving whatever existed in this connection before. And that could be a separation existed, that could be a friendship existed, but it's like they want to move on to something else. Let's clarify this energy. This Two of Swords, Three of Swords energy. I want to see what's going on here. I feel like a lot of you, gosh, you're going to meet this person. I feel like a lot of you are meeting this person pursuing a hobby, or it's your work. It could be like a passion project that kind of turned into your work for some of you, but there's a connection over this. There's something the two of you bond over when it comes to this. Seven of Pentacles energy. So there's a weight here. There's a weight. There's kind of the desire for them to figure out what they want to reap from this. And that's that deliberation. Do I want to be friends? Do I want to be more? Not wanting to lose this. Because with the Seven of Pentacles, I feel like I may have said Seven of Swords at some point. If I did, I apologize. I'm really lost in this energy right now. With the Seven of Pentacles, we look at kind of the fear and the idea that something might wither on the vine, that we might miss our opportunity. And I feel like this person either actually went into separation with you at some point and really felt the reality of not having you in their life, of missing that opportunity, of letting it wither on the vine. Or there's something initially in this connection where they're like, I don't want to let this slip away. I want to be careful about what I harvest here, because it's going to be important. I don't want to lose this connection. Yeah. And there's this time of contemplation about that. There's this time of delaying this coming together a little bit, because they're like almost afraid to step into this energy. There's this desire to kind of keep it casual. This Seven of Pentacles, that's so many cards. The Seven of Pentacles can also talk a lot about hard work. And we have the Eight of Pentacles here. So this is about the hard work and dedication that we put into things, the time that we have to wait. So this could be another reference to work. I have the Chariot. Moving things forward. The Ace of Pentacles. A new beginning, starting something fresh, starting something over for a lot of you, making it solid, playing a different role, making that solid. Bottom of the deck, the Magician. Wow. Really manifesting what they want in this connection, like knowing that all the pieces are there. It's like I was saying, you tick every box, and when it comes to all the physical, all of that is there. And then there's more. There's like this deep friendship, this deep bond, this feeling of like, gosh, this person's like my best friend, or like this person makes me feel like I have a partner here, and I don't know what I want to do with that energy, but they see all the potential in it. Seven of Pentacles energy, a lot of potential. Ace of Pentacles, a lot of potential. I'm wondering, because you guys are getting, you have a lot of Pentacles energy here. Which again, this could be something about work. This could be something tied to their finances, their work. This could be not wanting to, you might meet this person at work and they might not want to jeopardize their finances, jeopardize their position at work by starting a romantic connection in the workplace. So this could be part of this kind of this deliberation, or this trying to figure out where they want to take this connection. That happens initially. With this Chariot energy, it's like they make this decision to play a different role. They make this decision to move this past casual or friendship and really offer something new. I just like that at the base of your connection, there is this friendship, because I feel like this person for you, and for them, it's going to be reciprocated, but this is a connection where it feels like the two of you are best friends. And so, like, if this is somebody that you marry in the future, that you have a long-term relationship with, it's like you're going to be married to your best friend. Daydream. This person's daydreaming about you. I just want to pull some more energy on this and just see what's going on. They just can't stop thinking about you when they initially meet you, and that's a huge indication to them, because oh my gosh, friendship. Whew, okay. They probably just can't get you off of their mind, and that is something that's different for them. It's different for them to be distracted. With all this energy of work, I feel like this person's distracted from their work a lot. They can't stop thinking about you. They can't stop thinking about this connection. They can't stop thinking about bringing this connection back for some of you, where it might have faded away, where there has been a separation, but friendship. I'm telling you, if this relationship has a little bit of a lull, if it hits a bump, if there's a period of separation, this person feels like they have lost their best friend. And that is what really wakes them up to the fact that they want you in their life in a real and meaningful capacity, in a partnership forever. We have romance at the bottom of the deck, and the number 8, which is a number of manifestation. We have the Magician here, another indication of manifestation. So this person is drawing this connection toward them. It's like they've asked for this, maybe even unconsciously, because I don't think that they asked. That's what's funny about this. It's like they did not ask to be confused about a relationship. They didn't really think this would happen. They didn't ask to like maybe have stronger feelings for someone that they shouldn't, because I have that kind of feeling, like a friend they shouldn't feel this way about, a coworker they maybe shouldn't feel this way about, that type of thing. They didn't manifest that. What they manifested was a beautiful connection, and it came to them in a way that was unexpected. Whatever that means for your connection, it comes in a way that they didn't really expect. It comes at a time that they didn't really expect. And that's part of how they know that it's right. Interestingly enough, that's part of how they know that you are for them. Because when we have our minds set to something and it appears, we think, well, we might have just been ready, and like there it is, like we decided we wanted to date someone, or we decided we wanted to enter into a more committed relationship, and then it just like it kind of happened because I made the choice to do it. I put myself out there in that way. But this person, I feel like this surprises them. They didn't necessarily have this on their radar. They didn't necessarily have this plan. And that's actually what contributes to them knowing that it's right, because they're like, this just came out of nowhere. In fact, I was trying to maybe like downgrade it a little bit in my mind. I was trying to make this casual. I was trying to make this connection or this separation not feel so painful to me. I thought I could handle it. And as it turns out, I can't. That's what this feels like. I want to look at 2 last areas before we close out your reading, and I want to just see what this person grows and develops to love about you. So what is the biggest gift that you bring to this person's life? Number 3, we're going to look at that. What's the biggest gift that you bring to this person's life? For number 3, what's the biggest gift you bring to this person's life? Healer of the ages. Wow. And stability, healing and stability. That 3 of Swords energy there. Wow, you heal them. I'm also hearing forgiveness. For those of you where this is a connection that just kind of requires a little bit of forgiveness, I'm not picking up on anything that heavy. I'm picking up on a separation, a time where this person might have been a little bit reclusive, or where you might have been a little bit reclusive, and just kind of the need to move on from that. And it's such a beautiful, it just feels beautiful. It feels like they're so appreciative of the gift that you give them, of like forgiving them for maybe running from this connection. Forgiving them for trying to keep their role in your life as something that wasn't fully like what it was going to be, because I feel like there's this shift in roles here. Okay, so I also want to look at what's the biggest change that you inspire in this person. What is the biggest change that number 3 inspires? Your cards are flying out. We have victory. I love this energy. I love this energy. I love that this 28 adds up to a 10, which is the end of cycles, the beginning of new cycles. And we also have the World card here. So this is somebody who they're transitioning into a new phase. They're transitioning into a new role in your life. And they really feel like they're having the victory now. They feel like you have appreciation at the bottom of the deck. This card came out, I think, in reading 1. And I find that so interesting here, because there really is. There's such a deep appreciation for you, for this union, for this friendship, for the connection, that I feel like this person doesn't want to lose that, so much so that they almost try to make it more casual, because the idea of a breakup is just like they can't fathom it. And they feel like, well, if we're friends, like, I appreciate this person so much, I never want to lose them. I never want to have to face a breakup with them. But I feel like you're really showing them that they can have the victory. They can have it all, in a way. I'm putting that in quotes, but they can have it all. They can have that best friend and lover at the same time. And that is just such beautiful energy. They can win. They can, like, they feel the confidence to chase their dreams now, because they feel like they will see the victory. And a lot of that has to do with having a feeling of having a partner. like really having somebody who's going to love them through all of the ups and downs and who's going to support them no matter what. It's such beautiful energy. I do feel a little bit of like a little hesitation, and it doesn't feel like it lasts long because you guys have this Chariot energy, so it's like they have to move it forward. They have to progress this energy. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. They want to show up in this different capacity in your life. They want to show up in a different role in your life. They want to even heal things from the past for some of you and play a different role. Have that victory. Have that that connection that maybe they didn't believe was possible, or maybe that connection that they thought had faded away between the two of you. They want to bring that back. They want to revive it. It's such beautiful energy, and there's such happiness with this Nine of Cups associated with that energy. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there for you, number 3. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and letting me read your cards. If you enjoyed this reading, if you resonated with any of these messages, don't forget to hit the like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit subscribe if you feel like it. And hopefully I will see you again in another video really, really soon. Bye.